Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Hello, everyone. This is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and this is another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry podcast. I'm a little off because my lovely co-host, Elisa Dillon, is not here with us, but we do have Beth Green here. Welcome, Beth. Beth's the manager of Conti Jewelers in Endwell, New York, and appreciate you being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so we asked you on the show because we saw an article in the In-Store magazine saying that, let's see, what was this article called? This was about painting the big picture and how retail jewelers align brand identity with strategic planning. And how have you guys kind of managed strategic planning and along with your brand identity?
I would say that strategic planning goes a lot into everything that we do. And right now we've really condensed all of our marketing efforts and all of our event planning down to 3 or 4 months at a time instead of trying to look at a whole year out, because so much can change in a 12-month period. So there's maybe like 3 or 4 different things that we're doing every single year, but everything else, all of the smaller different branding things, we're doing and planning out just in 3 or 4 months at a time. Content pillars are huge for us in the sense of, our store is a locally owned independent jeweler that has been in the business since 1938. We focus on custom bridal, and what sets us apart is our customer service. So if it doesn't fit within the realm of the customer experience or a customization or a repair, again, along with those jewelry trends and things, then it doesn't go online. It doesn't go up at all. And then when we are throwing our parties and our events, it's all about making it the very best kind of experience that we possibly can make it. We're having it catered and butler service and free drinks and alcohol and kind of all of the things that you would see at a convention for the jewelry shows. We're making sure that we're bringing that here for our customers too.
Great, fantastic. I don't live very far from New York State, but I don't know where Endwell is, and I'm not too familiar. Tell me, is there a lot of competition in the area?
I would say we have probably about 5 or 6 other stores, pretty local. Everything is within like a 15-20 minute drive. Right. And they're all going to be other local independently owned jewelers.
Got it. So there, there's jewelers that are in big cities, smaller cities, or really rural towns, and some are the only game in town for miles and miles. But some, like you, have 4 or 5 other jewelers in the area, and that means in order for you guys to be a leader, stay a leader, you have to keep working at being in front of your customers and branding, and the events that you just mentioned. You really work at putting on a great event, and probably because it does mention about your social media, strategy. That probably is also very closely tied to social media and making sure the public knows that you're a great place to go for their life's greatest moments. Does that sound accurate?
Definitely. For us, I would say like Google reviews. Google reviews have been huge for us. We are very, very close to hitting 1,000 Google reviews, and I think all except for maybe 2 or 3 or 5-star reviews. Right. And so it's really important that with our main facet, no pun intended, of our brand and that content pillar being the best customer service in town and the best customer experience, that we maintain that 5-star Google review.
Right. I could tell you really know thing or two about social media and content. Not too many people, not too many managers of jewelry stores talk to me about content pillars. Could you explain a little bit further? Somebody out there that maybe doesn't put as much effort or thinking about it, or could you explain what you mean and how you guys handle your content pillars?
So we sat down as a group, and now we are going to go ahead and we're going to do it again now that our college students are coming back into town. We sat down and we did it in January, and I took everyone outside of the store. I took them out to breakfast, a nice little cafe. It ended up being probably like a 6-hour endeavor. And I find that everyone is a little bit more creative when they're outside of the store, and the girls especially feel a little bit more able to speak freely, whether that's good or bad feedback. And so things that we need to, change or improve on. And so we went out to breakfast. We literally, booked the biggest table that they had so that we could spread out with highlighters, markers, sticky notes, the biggest calendar I could find. And we went through against, our reports as well, which months went really well the previous year, which months do we need to kind of really focus on for profit and loss. We went over the events that led to really good gains. We kind of started there, and we said, okay, so obviously we're doing those events again, and what went really well, what do we need to improve on? And then from there, we went to where do we need to fill in, where do we have holes for our events? Are there months where we're doing nothing? Are there months where the event just kind of flopped and we need to do something totally different and pivot? And the girls put in a ton of great feedback and really surprised me. They took ownership of the marketing. They took ownership of the website and set some really big goals for the store. And they've done a really great job as far as right now everything went from really high standards online and unrealistic goals as far as beauty and things like that. And now everything has reverted back to customers and consumers want to see real people, and they want to see our flaws, and they want to see our blemishes. And so the girls have a goal that every single model photo on our website and on our social media, those are going to be us. They're going to be us wearing the jewelry, not the model photos that our designers are showing that have been photoshopped or AI models. They are going to take those pictures. And that's a big undertaking.
Sure.
You receive 20 pieces of jewelry to get all of those photos and edit them and put them up on social media. That's an 8-hour, 10-hour day.
Sure.
So that is one position to hire for. And so that's one thing that we've really focused on, and that's all part of that personalization and customization for the social media.
Sure.
But again, in that big kind of marketing session that we did, we really kind of carved out what it meant to be a Conti Jewelers customer and how we wanted people to feel when they came in the store and why people come in the store. And that's how we built those content pillars, because we needed to figure out who our customers were, who our core customers were. And I would say that's kind of marketing 101 is who is your customer? What do they look like? How old are they? What kind of car do they drive, etc. And kind of figuring that out. And that's kind of how we built them out. And then it went from just kind of taking cute pictures and making funny TikToks to giving the girls at my store a really nice structure and parameter where I know that they have a guideline to work within, but then they also have creative freedom.
Right.
So I can trust that everything they're putting up works and it's appropriate and it is functional and it's targeted, but they also get to do their job and have fun and be creative and have freedom without me micromanaging them. Which I think
Absolutely.
for 19, 20-year-old girls who are in marketing programs is really nice for them.
Absolutely. And that's fantastic. And I think there's a lot to learn for anybody that's looking to grow your marketing or grow your local presence. Is to one, not just put out whatever up, right? You get some new thing, you take a picture of it, say it's the birthstone of the month or whatever it is to have a plan and think about it. And it sounds like you have your 3-4 major events in the year. Obviously, there's social media that's surrounding about that's focused on that. But then you also have your customer, the customer service, like you said. What's important for them? How can you provide a better experience? And I think it's very important that jewelry store owners, managers, create a plan like you've done, and you guys have kind of round tabled and came up with ideas, and you included your associates as part of this process, not just some boss saying this is what we're doing, do this. You included them, which really got them more invested on doing things that are great. And of course, 20 somethings, they're all over social media, and they all have their own, influencers that they follow and whatever it is, and they can easily relate. How can I tie this into your business? But you gave them the freedom you gave them the direction, what's important, and then you gave them the freedom. And I think that's really important. Now, in terms of your overall, let's say, marketing strategy, all the various things that you may do, how much of it is social media, would you say?
I would say that probably about 70% of it is social media and 30% of it is events.
Got it. Do you do other types of marketing, like paid ads or I don't know, print or other ways?
I guess if we're talking about paid ads, I kind of bundle that into social
Got it.
media.
Sure.
We
Yep.
do a little bit with paid ads, but it is
Hmm.
nowhere near what I know other stores do, and it's
Got it.
nowhere near what the industry standard is recommended. I think it's recommended to do something around like 12% of your like total budget or your
Hmm.
profits is to go to
Sure.
marketing. I think I've never spent more than about 2% of my budget total, with even
Right.
the events and things like
Sure.
that. So we don't spend a ton. It seems to be pretty organic as
Hmm.
far as our core customer base,
Right.
liking, commenting, sharing, and then us internally liking, commenting, sharing. With
Sure.
the events, we do end up sending out invitations
Yep.
and boosting those types of events a little bit more to make sure that we get some new customers in for those, or
Hmm.
we partner with other businesses so that we're reaching other businesses, and that
Yep.
seems to be really effective and a free way to get new customers in. We host a big bridal show every year, and it
Mm.
seems to be growing. We went from just 3 vendors in the store about 5 years ago. This past year, we had something around 25 vendors and had to
Mm.
move to a different location. So we went to a different location, like 10-ish vendors, bigger location, 25 vendors. This year we'll be at a full hotel with their whole ballroom, and we're
Wow.
hoping for upwards of like 35 to 45 vendors. And so just by liking, commenting, sharing, tagging them in every single post related to those, you're reaching their audience, which is completely different from yours. And that's just free marketing. And for them and for you, for every single event we do. I don't know how we managed to do it. Again, I keep saying the girls, they're amazing. They seem to get 90% of everything donated or for free or on a barter kind of system. If we do decorations, we have, a wedding planner or a wedding decorator come in and decorate the store, but we do their advertising for them. And so then we're reaching their demographic and the store looks beautiful. Same with the catering. We'll have a lot of the catering end up either being at a significant discount or completely donated, because we'll pay for the advertising for the whole thing and we'll really market their catering. And so it seems to really work out and benefit for us to more so, instead of focusing on us, focusing on supporting other local merchants and other local business owners in our area.
Right. And I think, you mentioned earlier that the typical, marketing spend is maybe 12%. And, there's a lot of resources or people that might say, oh, you should spend this much. But really, you may not be putting out that kind of investment out. You said about 2%. But your investment is really more, on the ground with your people, getting your team invested. And I think that's really amazing because there's some other businesses, I'm not going to say just jewelry stores, other businesses will just have a marketing team and just go off and do marketing and try to get more eyeballs, try to get more clicks or more leads or whatever it is. But there's not the same amount of buy-in, or the message is inconsistent or something along that. And what you've done is you really brought it all together, got them excited. You're also partnering local businesses, the caterer and more. Obviously, you're partnering with your vendors. And it's really a win-win to create a marketing system that's probably better than putting in 15% or more of just towards paid ads or whatever it is. And so I think that's really amazing, but it's not easy. Is it easy?
I would say it's not easy. I know that the girls spend a lot of time. We all spend a lot of time, and I know that it stresses them out because I do have high standards and I give them a very, very difficult task. They actually probably think that my standards are higher than they actually are, because I do like things a certain way, but if things fall through, I'm pretty flexible. But they definitely put in the effort, and we really try to make everything that luxury experience and make it really beautiful and fun and like that work hard, play hard kind of mentality. So I tend to kind of put my vision out there, and they do everything to make it so. And I so greatly appreciate that, because they 9 times out of 10, if not 11 times out of 10, like blow me away. This past bridal show blew me away. This past ladies' night event we did blew me away. We were completely understaffed for this last ladies' night event, and just everyone kind of pulled in their families. I have a bazillion kids, so even my kids, my kids were doing some of the butler service. We kind of did everything homegrown organically, and it was one of the best, most successful profit-wise, additionally, ladies' night events that we've had to date. And so that was really exciting too. And so it's just, no matter what happens, just we work really well together and we make it happen. So
fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Was there something?
No, that's okay. Like, I can't be more great. I have to be just grateful for that. So
yes, no, absolutely. And I can see it. And I think having the high standards, I think that's great, because once you guys blew it out of the water for this event, and they'll have a lot of pride and feel, with what they have achieved with you, with the store, and they'll be looking forward to the next one. They're probably thinking, all right, next time we're going to do this and do that. And I think that's really amazing when you can get your team involved and that much invested into the success, not just the one event, but into the success of the store. So that's really amazing to do that. I'm just curious your thoughts about this. I've talked to many jewelry store owners, maybe with a small staff, and one of their sales associates or somebody, maybe the younger person, maybe the one that's more social media, and they ask that person to, can you produce some social media content, probably without a plan, probably without content pillars, and they really don't put that much effort into it. What do you think about that? What's the pitfall with just doing it like that? What would you say?
If there's not a lot of effort and there's not a lot of planning, the biggest pitfall with that right now is that the 30 and unders, which I get it, the money right now in the jewelry industry, the customers who are buying $5,000 pieces or upgrading their diamonds to the natural 3-5 carat diamond because they're in their 50s, that's where the money is right now. But the 30 somethings, my generation, we're getting there and we're starting to invest in ourselves, and we will be the money. And my generation and younger, the 20 somethings, and then especially the next generation, they get it, and they're going to very quickly catch on and see that there's no effort being put in, and they're going to move on very quickly because they're looking for cohesiveness, they're looking for a message, they're looking for an aesthetic, they're looking for a theme. Surprisingly, for how unorganized my teenage children are when they're online, they're looking for organization. They're looking for almost the same thing. I look at the Instagram accounts and I look at what our 20-something-year-old social media person just did to reorganize, and she restructured our Instagram account. It's almost like within those content pillars, they're looking for sub-content pillars on those Instagram accounts. Within the highlights, they want to see categories, and they want to be able to go in and search specifically by what they're looking for and want it to be very organized. So if you're not extremely organized and you're not focusing on that, and it's just kind of here, there, everywhere, or the content isn't clean, crisp, cohesive, they're going to catch on very quickly, and they're going to move on to the next person who is. And if that person is in your town, then you're kind of out of luck.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure. And I think you said it earlier. You get out of it what you put into it, and it sounds like you guys have put a lot into it, and you're getting great results, and that's fantastic. One of the things that came up in this article that featured you and Conti Jewelers, one of the first things is developing an e-commerce website to fit the company's goal of instilling a sense of trust. How important was it, or do you feel it is, for jewelers to have an e-commerce website for their business these days?
Extremely important. We did not have an e-commerce website until COVID. And so then during COVID, kind of threw something together. And then a few years after COVID, I think it was maybe just like a year and a half, 2 years ago, we revamped it and like really redid our website to what it is today and invested a lot into it. Thought-wise, just marketing-wise, just the whole thing, financially, we really invested into the website, and it made a big difference. And that really is because, again, like, the online consumer right now, everyone is online. I don't know
Exactly.
anyone who hasn't looked at something online today. Even if they're
Right.
going to go in the store to buy
Yeah.
it, they're looking at
Hmm.
it online.
Hmm.
I would say I also don't know anyone who hasn't bought something online in the last 7 days.
Right.
um, and so you kind of have to be competitive, but also for that research, because so many consumers right now, they're researching you
Right.
along with your competitors, both online and, brick and mortar, before they even come into your store. So
Hmm.
if you don't have an online website, then you've already been overlooked. You've already kind of sold yourself short because you haven't even given yourself a chance. Um, but then also you're missing out on sales. And it's not
Sure.
I would say as a small local jeweler, it's not a ton of sales.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not millions of dollars in sales, probably not even tens of thousands of dollars in sales.
Sure.
But at the very least, it is a handful of sales where then you can nurture that relationship.
Hmm.
And through that word of mouth, you can still kind of spread your presence in the
Sure.
community. And I know that one thing that is on our list to really focus on this year through the website is blogging. And
Mm.
that's something that
Yes.
has been a struggle for us since
Sure.
I've started managing the store, is consistently blogging, because
Sure.
it builds your topical authority on Google. It builds your topical authority with customers. It allows you again to branch and network and, continue to build other audiences with other online merchants and other brands, because you're linking to each other and other people are seeing you building a bigger audience. But I don't think what a lot of people realize is, by building that topical authority, you don't have to spend as much money on Google.
Sure.
So then
Yep.
you're saving money. So
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest goals this year, is so that we can, is to get that blog under control, because we get really consistent for about 3
Right.
hours and then it
Sure.
kind of falls off.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that was very there was a lot to unpack in that segment there. But having an e-commerce website is it's kind of what you need to do these days. If you sell products, you should have an e-commerce website. As we all know, jewelry, it's not a lot of people. It isn't the majority of sales happening online yet. But still, there are people buying. So it's, if you don't have it, you're leaving money on the table, because they'll buy it from someone else that has an
Mm-hmm.
e-commerce site. I do know of some jewelers that have a Punchmark site like yours, but they've asked Punchmark to turn off the checkout capabilities, so it's like a big
Hmm.
catalog without the add to cart checkout functionality. And it was I asked them, maybe you want to turn it on. And But anyway, like, I think a big theme here is you put a lot of effort into it. You put a lot of effort in your website. You make sure everything looks great. You really put a lot of thought and effort into how you do it, not the execution, not just let's put a website out about us, and let's find some photos and make it look good. But you really have a standard that you've put out there, that it's only your team that shows up as the models, and so forth. And I think that's great. And By the way, when you're talking about topical authority, man, that's like it's music to my ears, because I'm always talking about topical authority and building blogs. We do SEO, and it's something that is, like you said, when you can build up topical authority, you spend less on Google. And really, when somebody's searching for jewelry repair, and you guys come up, they have that buying intent, and they see your website looks great, reputable, almost 1,000 Google reviews. This is where I'm go. There's like no other option. There's no other reason to look for anyone else, because you guys look great, have the great reputation, topical authority, and that's really powerful. It's just a lot, and it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. It takes so much more work
Right.
than people realize. And
Yeah.
My background is actually in marketing and communications. My
Right.
master's is in strategic marketing.
Yep.
And so that's where I would say my heart probably lies. But in managing the store and in my future being to own the store, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have time. I don't have
Sure.
time to do all of it
Exactly.
because it is a full-time job. Some people could
Absolutely.
argue that it could even be a full-time job for multiple people, or that's
Mm-hmm.
why there are so many freelancers in marketing,
Yep.
because it takes so much time. And I know that there are a lot of marketing companies that will come in and you can freelance that work. I know it's something that our store has done in the past,
Mm-hmm.
prior my time. It's
Yep.
something that I don't think, at least not for like a locally owned store where we're so intimate, our relationships are so intimate with our customers. I would never feel comfortable freelancing that work.
Mm-hmm.
Just because our relationships were too close to our customers.
Right.
But it takes so much time to do it the right way.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so you have to be willing. And I know for in this industry, there are so many store owners who are boomers and who are older. So when they see a 20 something, a younger person running around their store with their cell phone out and on their cell phone, it feels like they're not working. But I
Right.
promise they're working.
Right. Right.
I promise you they are working. You just ask for the reports, just like follow up on the reports and the data and the analytics so you can see the numbers, but I promise they're working.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Well, there is so many aspects of marketing that a store and business owner can do. But if you can create an amazing, not just customer base, but like fan base, and you know, that really probably will be better than just put more money into it. You put more money, you get more eyeballs, and maybe you get your 3 to 5% conversion rate or something like that. But when you have a mega fan base, you really get a lot more meaningful interactions. They'll even tell you what they're looking for, or tell you what to improve, and that's something that that's really valuable stuff. And it looks like you because you have high standards and want to portray the best of Conti Jewelers, this. Um, you've created this with your customers, with your staff, and so congratulations on, building a great team, great store, a great reputation. I think you could take the rest of the day off. I'm just kidding. But we do have one bit of pearls of wisdom that you would share to anyone out there looking to grow their store.
I think you had asked me this, right? The
Yes.
pearls of wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think I had gotten this question twice. I think each time I put something different too.
Hmm.
But the most recent time was just to take in all of the seminars and webinars and all of the information that's out there, because
Right.
all of the different resources that are available, especially with marketing and social media, it changes so much. I would even
Right.
argue that I finished my master's program in like 2022 or 23, and I would say that it's almost obsolete. Like things have changed so much just
Hmm.
in a few years,
Yeah.
with Meta. And so there's,
Hmm.
the technology therapy, and Punchmark puts out information, and Podium puts out information, and even the different diamond manufacturers, RDI and GN, and they put out information.
Yeah.
And just take in all of the information that you can possibly take in. If you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram and they put out webinars, and
Yeah.
and I don't know if everyone knows this because I didn't know it until about a year ago, but you can get a free call once a month with your Meta advisor on Facebook and Instagram. And when you're on that call, they can help you set up your campaigns. So if you're, because the backside of Meta isn't super easy to navigate. It takes time to learn, and and when your ads get rejected, it's not easy to fix them, and it's not super descriptive on how to fix them. Right. So you have an advisor when you have a business account, and you can get a free call with them every single month. And basically use that call to have them set up your campaigns for you. Just come prepared to that call. Like, this is the, event that we're running 2 months from now, and this is the sale that we're running right now, and make them do it. And that's kind of what we did, I would say, last summer, until we got better at it, and then use them as much as possible, and just soak in all of the knowledge and use all of the free resources that are out there, because there are a ton of free resources. And especially if you're in the different buying groups, then that just means that your free resources are doubled or tripled, and use every single one of them.
Absolutely. That's really important. And thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge, all of, how you handle connecting with your customers so well. And I think definitely a lot of stores out there can take your experience as inspiration to maybe not just throw something out there. Really think about it. Really connect with your customers. Work with your younger team members that are all over this, live in social media. And give them your direction, your guidance, your expectations, but then let them do their thing. And it looks like it's really working well for you. Congratulations, Beth, for sharing all your knowledge here. Thank you so much. And make sure you anybody out there listen, go sign up for all the seminars coming up at IJO, RJO, whatever, and take advantage. And maybe one day we'll all grow up to be just like Beth. And so anyway, Beth, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing so much. Everyone out there, have a great day, great summer. This is another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.